guys, I'm here with a 6x8 layout today and I'm working with the December kit from Kitaholics. So I've got this photo of Artie with his beautiful wild hair all over his face, sort of hanging out next to a bush. We were waiting to pick Sarah Jane up from school, and this was in the garden at the school where she works. Obviously can't go in because of COVID, so we were just waiting outside in a socially distanced way. And yeah, I really liked that photo, and because it's got those greens and leafy sort of elements, but also that nice blue, I thought I would use this paper which came in the kit that is just begging to be fussy cut. So I'm going to use that and fussy cut it, as I just said, to make like a pretty frame of flowers basically around the photo. This paper is also stunning from the kit. I really love it, and I thought I would use one of those bits from it to make basically the title. So I've picked a couple because I wasn't 100% sure how it was going to look once I had all the flowers on there. And but I really like the mustard one, so I think that's probably the one at this stage that I want to use the most. But yeah, so I cut out a couple of spares just in case. So I'm just going to mount the photo on some blue pattern paper, also from the kit. Everything here is from the kit, because I just wanted to give it something to stand out a little bit. But it's a really narrow border, like it's not a lot, but I just wanted it to have a little bit of something extra for when I put the flowers all around it. And you saw me also put some sort of loosely scraped on gesso underneath as well, for an extra layer there, which I really like. And so now I'm just going to have a go at arranging the flowers and sort of see what works balance-wise. And I'm going to do a bit of playing with, some are going to go underneath and some are going to go on top of the photo. And, you know, this is just where you mix and match and see what feels right. For me anyway, that's kind of my process. I really liked the sentiment of thankful for you there, but it was, I think the blue was a little bit too pale. So I'm actually going to go with the mustard one. I've got these stickers from the kit and they're really lovely and I want to use some of them, but I don't know where I want to put them yet, and I don't want to have to stick them down and then peel them up. So what I'm doing is I'm sticking them to paper. This is a trick I learned from Missy Whiddon, who I love. Yeah, so I'm going to stick them to paper and then I'm going to fussy cut them out, and then they're basically die cuts, so I can move them around as much as I want to. Which sort of seems a little bit counterintuitive when you're like, well, it's a sticker, why would you take that sticky property away? But it just means you've got a bit more flexibility when you're doing a layout like this that needs to be mixed and matched and changed as it goes along. So I'm going to stick these two guys onto the front of the photo, like on top of it, and that's going to work well. And then I want to make sure I've got a little bit of dimension that will make the layering look even prettier than if I just laid them together flat on the page, I think. So I'm grabbing a piece of an old cardboard box, which I've chopped up, which I like to do this instead of using craft foam, because it's free and it's not made of plastic. So I'm like, those are two big ticks for me, and they're roughly the same kind of thickness, so you get the same effect. And yeah, so I've put my photo up on that to pop it up a little bit. And while that's drying, I'm just going to put a few speckles in the background, some splatters, using these Colour Shine thingamajigs. I've got 3 colours in the end, and I kind of want to work from the bottom up. So I want to put this kind of navy coloured Colour Shine at the bottom, because it's the darkest colour, and so it's kind of visually the heaviest. And then I'm going to put some of this orangey coral colour, which sort of matches that sort of vermilion reddish colour in some of the flowers. It's a little bit more orangey, but it matches in pretty well. And then I've got this pink blush colour, which I use quite a lot. It's probably my most used one. And that's going to go at the top. So you can't really tell that, it's quite subtle that there's that kind of graduation of colour, but I think it works quite well. So now I'm grabbing this sticker that I turned into a die cut, and I'm going to put that there just poking out the side. It just kind of brings out some more of that navy that's in Artie's top, and I think I like the way that it kind of adds that depth of colour a little bit. So that's going on there. And then I'm going to just continue to add these layers. So I've definitely decided that I want to use that one. but I was a bit worried, because of the size of it, I was a bit worried about making sure I got it in the right place so it didn't cover too much of the photo or too many of the flowers. So I just wanted to play around a little bit to make sure I got that right. So I don't have flexibility in where those top flowers go, but I do have flexibility in the bottom one. So I'm just making sure it sort of fits with the ones that are at the top. At this stage, I haven't officially decided whether I want the flowers to just go around the bottom like a swag or to go all the way around the picture. So I'm still playing with that a little bit. And because I fussy cut them, I can, well, even if it's a die cut, you can still cut off pieces that sort of don't fit when you're working like this. So I chopped off one of the blue flowers that was making it a little bit too crowded there on the right, but I did want the pink and the red, so just got my scissors and cut it off. So that was nice and easy. And I'm slowly kind of gluing things down as I sort of settle on where I want them to go. So I did decide that I wanted to make it go all the way around, all the flowers there. So I've got that bit at the top. I have off camera cut a few more flowers out from the paper to give myself a little bit more choice about like the shapes that I want to work with. Here I am doing a couple more again. It's worth taking the time to just cut a few extra ones, I think, because then you don't have to try and make one that's not quite the right shape fit. You can kind of mix and match. Have I said mix and match about 10 times in this video? I probably have, but hopefully you know what I mean. Yeah, you can change things around as you need to, I guess. So yeah, I want to create a little cluster up there at the top. But before I do that, I'm just going to just finish gluing this down. You'll notice that my fine line bottle doesn't have its fine tip on it because I left the lid off when I wandered off to get a breather and a coffee, let's be honest. And it dried up. So I've had to go and grab some new fine line nozzle things to put on my bottle because I wrecked them. So that's very silly of me. I was very forgetful, but never mind. Luckily, replacements can be found. Yeah, so I've stuck that all down now, and now I'm going to work on this little bit at the top. I want to, because I've got the dimension with the photo, I want to add some at the top as well. So I'm getting some of that cardboard that I've chopped off from the same piece that I used under the photo, and I've just cut really small bits. This was a little bit fiddly, but no more fiddly than it would be if you were using craft foam. I've just kind of cut some little strips of it, and I'm just going slowly and in small bits so that I don't accidentally make them too big and make them visible. And I'm just going to stick those under that little flower so that it pops up a little bit off the page. And I'm going to add a couple of other bits there to make that little cluster. And I really think that that balances what's going on down below nicely. So I'm happy with that. I added a few more details after I finished doing this. I added a little bit of journaling and some enamel dots and that little phrase that says loving life. I think it adds that nice kind of mustardy, complements that mustardy colour because it's a similar tone but is a bit darker and browner. And it looks really nice. But I will show you that in the stills, which is coming up in just a second. But that's the main shape of the thing. Oh, that's right. I need to put a little bit of glue on that bottom part. When you've got lots of little bits that you're sticking on, sometimes it becomes clear that one of them got missed in the gluing process, and that's what happened here. But very easy just to slide that in there, nice and easy. And that's how that looks. And then we've got the stills, I think, here with where you can see the journaling and the enamel dots that I added on there. I really love the way that this one turned out, and I hope you do too. I think it shows what you can get with just one sheet of patterned paper. You can really do quite a lot with it when it's got such a lovely kind of floral pattern on it. The fussy cutting is really fun, and you can, yeah, really enjoy the process. Make sure you check out Kitaholic Kits because they are awesome, and I will see you again really soon. Bye!